Hello, and a very warm welcome back. I am Sam, your lead tutor and mentor for the Digital and Technology Solutions Professional Degree Apprenticeship. It is fantastic to have you with me today. Over our last few sessions, we have built a powerful playbook for analyzing problems and communicating value. Today's topic is S28, performing stakeholder analysis to identify, determine, and deepen understanding of system requirements and develop client relationships. The core concept here is creating a human blueprint. It is about understanding that behind every piece of software, every server, and every process, there is a complex network of people with their own fears, needs, and motivations. Let us use an analogy. A good architect can design a house that is technically sound. But a great architect starts by getting to know the family that will live there, their routines, their hobbies, their hopes. Only by understanding the people can they design a home that truly fits. As an IT consultant, this is exactly what you must do for systems. Our goal today is to master a structured approach to stakeholder analysis. This approach will not only help you uncover deep, hidden requirements but will fundamentally build the strong client relationships that lead to successful, long-term consulting careers. Let us use my scaffold and ascent method to break this skill down into its three interconnected disciplines. I want you to view this not as a static list of tasks, but as a continuous cycle of investigation, understanding, and connection. First, you must perform stakeholder analysis. This is the who of the project. It is the systematic process of identifying everyone who has a stake in your project and mapping their power, influence, and relationship to the outcome. Second, you use that map to deepen understanding of system requirements. This is the what and the why. Once you know who you are talking to, you can move beyond their surface-level requests to uncover the real, underlying problems the system must solve. Third, you must develop client relationships. This is the how. It is not a separate activity, it is the natural outcome of executing the first two steps with deep empathy and professionalism. By making people feel heard, you build essential trust. Adopting this mindset is vital. This is not a project management tick-box exercise. Establishing these connections and deeply understanding the client's business is the very foundation of your professional authority as a consultant. Our first practical step is identification. The goal here is to create a comprehensive list of every person or group impacted by your project, completely removing the risk of being blindsided late in the delivery phase by someone you forgot to consult. A simple technique is using the concentric circles of influence. Start in the center with the core. This includes your immediate project team, your project manager, and your primary executive sponsor who holds the budget. The next circle out is the directly affected. These are the crucial end users. These are the people whose daily jobs, workflows, and stress levels will change directly because of the new system. The third circle is the indirectly affected. This is the group most often missed by junior consultants. If you build a new sales CRM, the sales team uses it, but the finance department relies on its data for invoicing. You must identify them. The final, outer circle is external stakeholders. Depending on the project, this could include government regulators enforcing compliance, key suppliers integrated into your supply chain, or major customers. Once you have identified your stakeholders, you must analyze them. The goal is to understand each person's unique perspective, influence, and motivation, allowing you to heavily tailor how you gather requirements from them. We use the power interest grid. Stakeholders with high power and high interest are your key players. Think of your project sponsor. Their definition of success and their core requirements form the non-negotiable foundation of the entire project. Stakeholders with high power but low interest are your context setters. A chief information security officer, for example, may not care about the UI design, but they will dictate the high-level constraints and strict security policies the system must meet. Stakeholders with low power but high interest are the users. They cannot sign off on the budget, but they hold the absolute most valuable, granular knowledge regarding how the daily operational workflows actually function. Finally, those with low power and low interest just need to be monitored. You simply keep them loosely updated on general progress without spending hours gathering detailed requirements from them. This brings us to the art of elicitation. The primary challenge here is that stakeholders rarely tell you what they actually need. They usually describe a solution based purely on the technology they already know. To fix this, master open-ended questions. Instead of asking a closed question like, "Do you want a PDF export button?" you must ask, "Tell me about the process you follow when you need to share this data with the board." Next, use the 5 whys technique. If they say they need a new dashboard, ask why. To see sales, why? To find out which products are failing. Keep asking why until you drill down past the surface request to the true business root cause. Furthermore, use observation or shadowing. Sitting with a user and watching them work for an hour will reveal the hidden manual workarounds, the sticky notes on their monitor, and the unspoken frustrations that they would never mention in a meeting. The ultimate goal of these techniques is to gather enough deep context to transform their vague, initial requests into precise, actionable, and highly effective system requirements. To help you master elicitation, I want to give you a mental model called the onion model of requirements. The core concept is a reminder that the initial request a stakeholder makes is rarely the complete story. The tough, outer skin of the onion represents the stated requirement. This is what they explicitly ask for. A junior consultant hears, "I need a CSV export button," writes it down, and passes it to development. However, a strategic consultant peels back to the middle layer, the real requirement. Through good questioning, you discover they do not care about CSV files. The actual task they're attempting is getting fresh data into their Excel forecasting tool. The best consultants push to the core layer, the unspoken need. You might discover the fundamental human motivation is that they feel disorganized, and they need to feel confident and prepared when presenting forecasts to the CEO. Your true value as an IT consultant is peeling the onion. If you understand the core need is confidence, you might realize a live, automated dashboard on their tablet is a vastly superior solution to a simple CSV export button. Let us look at S28 in action. Imagine you are building a new CRM, and the project sponsor gives you a very common, very vague request: "We need a new reporting feature." Instead of just building generic charts, you begin your analysis. You identify 3 distinct stakeholders: the head of sales as the sponsor, the sales reps as the users, and the finance department as an indirectly affected context setter. You then apply your elicitation techniques. You discover the head of sales needs high-level performance trends. The sales reps need granular, daily tracking of their individual pipelines. Finance needs guaranteed, auditable revenue totals for compliance. The strategic shift is that one vague requirement has now been broken down into 3 distinct, persona-driven system features. The result of this process is that the final system design accurately reflects the complex human blueprint of the business, ensuring high adoption rates and eliminating expensive rework. For your portfolio, S28 provides fantastic evidence of your interpersonal consulting skills. Structure your entry using the STARR method. Situation: the client requested a costly new internal communications portal, noting that previous attempts had suffered from historically low staff adoption rates. Task: my task was to perform a deep stakeholder analysis to determine the true, underlying system requirements before development began. Action: I used the Concentric Circles model to map all user groups. I then conducted targeted interviews using the 5 whys technique, bypassing management and speaking directly to the remote field workers. Result: I discovered the real, unspoken need was entirely mobile access. The desktop features management requested were useless to field staff. I successfully redesigned the project scope based on this evidence. Reflection: I learned that deep, empathetic stakeholder engagement is the only way to prevent building perfectly coded systems that nobody actually wants to use. If you are executing your major project, Skill 28 is the foundation of your initial chapters. You must include a formal, stakeholder analysis section. You must provide visual mapping. Include a completed power, interest grid or ARACI matrix within your report to prove you systematically analyzed the human landscape. You must demonstrate strict traceability. Your report must explicitly show how a specific interview with a specific stakeholder directly generated the functional requirements listed in your technical specification. You should also demonstrate professional empathy by documenting how you navigated and resolved conflicting requirements between 2 different stakeholder groups. Why is this mandatory? Because it proves to the EPA assessor that you operate as a strategic consultant who designs complex systems for real people, rather than just acting as a backroom coder. To conclude today's session, the vital takeaway is that stakeholder analysis is not a one-off task you tick off a project plan. It is a continuous, empathetic mindset. Understanding the people behind the process is the absolute prerequisite to accurately understanding the technical problem you have been hired to solve. Your playbook is set. Identify stakeholders broadly, analyze their influence deeply, elicit the true needs empathetically, and use that process to develop unshakable trust. Never forget that in consulting, the technology you implement is simply the medium. The long-term, trust-based client relationship is the ultimate goal. Your next step is practical. Take 15 minutes today to map the stakeholders for your current project using a power, interest grid. You will be amazed at the clarity it brings. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you now feel more confident in mastering this topic. If you found value in this session, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and follow our channel. It really means a lot to me and helps the algorithm show these lessons to other apprentices, just like you, who need support. Don't forget, you can download today's slides and the full transcript at www.mentorinai.com, EPAHUB. While you are there, check out our mock interview and portfolio review services to make sure you are fully ready for your EPAHUB in the next video. Keep learning.